Hey all, Johnny Mullet here with another video. Today we are going to talk about CB radios and ham radios. I do have a small collection of older CB radios, and I've had CBs. I was on CB radio when I was a kid back in the 70s. My parents used to talk back and forth on CB radio. Some friends of mine were talking about these newer ham radios that you can get through Amazon or eBay, made by Baofeng, the UV5R, and you can program multiple channels in it and pick up family radio service and the ever so supposedly popular GMRS, General Mobile Radio Service. GMRS requires a license, but it's just a one-time fee, no test, and your whole family's covered. Everyone tells me everybody's using GMRS. So I decided to pick one of these up and try it out. I programmed a whole bunch of channels in it, and it's dead. I mean, just like CB radio, it's pretty much dead. As a matter of fact, I have ham radio repeaters and everything programmed, and there's hardly any traffic at all. And my CB radio that I've been using for years and years still has Trucker 19 traffic, and every now and then you'll pick up some locals talking. So I would say that CB radio is not completely dead. The new GMRS and other systems for walkie-talkies and so forth, you might get some good range and stuff with the GMRS with a good mobile unit, and apparently off-roaders use it, but every off-roader around here that I know still uses CB radio. But anyway, I want to show you some of the radios I got and check them out. So the first one we got here, Uncle Branton gave me this radio to check out. He said he plugged it in and the clock lights up, but he couldn't get anything else to work. After a little bit of messing around, I was able to get the channels to work and switch. Some of the LEDs are bad, and I can't get it to receive or key up in any way. I did mess with the connector, and I messed with the microphone. I did get it to key up one time, but there was no sound coming out of anything. And these buttons are all sticking. There's a lot of moisture inside. I actually took it apart to try and fix this old Motorola base station, but unfortunately, it is going into the garbage can. Uncle Branton also let me use his SWR and power meter to tune in the radios that I have. 3 of our vehicles have CB radios. The bus conversion has an old CB radio in it. The Geo Metro has a CB radio in it. As you can see, the antenna on the roof. The Mirage also has a CB radio. You might not see an antenna on it because it has an emergency CB radio. This is one of them old GE emergency help 40 channel full power CB radios. So it's pretty cool. It's very old. As you see, quick 3 easy steps. So we have a magnet mount where the cord is wrapped around. There's the antenna that you screw on to the magnet mount. There's the handheld unit and a power cord. So you simply grab the handheld, plug it into your cigarette lighter, put the antenna on your roof, plug it into the radio, and you can call for help. It has 40 channels and a volume control. There is no squelch control, so you're not going to use this as an everyday radio because all you're going to hear is static most of the time, but it's a pretty cool setup. Pretty old, pretty awesome. But you never know when you need something like that, so here it sits in the car. Inside the Geo Metro, we have this old 1976 Lafayette HB740, and it works. My boss brought a whole box of old crap in, and this CB radio, along with a couple others, was in it. And I didn't know what he was going to do with it or throw it away. So I decided to dust this thing off and clean it up. And It's a 40 channel CB radio, and it works good. It actually works really good because I opened it up and I did a little bit of a tweak to it to turn the modulation up. I'm not going to show you how to do that. You can Google that. Matching microphone, everything works. And if you check out the meter here, when I key up, you can see the modulation. Hello, hello. See, she's cranking her up, baby, cranking it. So there you go for the Lafayette. 1977, they made this radio. It was made in Japan. And they had different models. They had the 640, the 740, the 750, 9 something. So yeah, they had different models of the CB radio, and it's a really good radio. Now the bus has a hidden remote CB transceiver. So you're not going to see a CB anywhere on the dashboard or anything like that. What you're going to see is hidden behind this door is a old President CB remote transceiver. Now, this one here, if you look, is the Assault Radio 11 edition. There's the Assault bullets for it, so you got to watch out for that. Anyway, just kidding. This is pretty cool because you can hide the radio inside a compartment. You can hide it under a seat. You can hide it somewhere where, you know, you don't want anybody to see it. I mean, you can see this one because it has the glass in it. But all you have whenever you're, you know, cruising around or driving is basically you got the handheld unit right here. And it has everything you need. It has your, trying to do this one-handed, sorry. Let's see here. It has your transmit button, so you can transmit, hello, hello. And it has, on the side here, you got your channel down, channel up, same thing. And you have a squelch control, volume control, channel emergency 9, and automatic noise limiter. So it's a pretty cool radio. This is old. My dad gave it to me. He's had it for many years, and I've had it in the bus for a few years now. You've probably seen the one video, CB radio and awning install. This was the radio I put in. So it works out pretty good. Like I said, it's nice that I can, you know, just, you know, hide it up in here. And, well, it's not really hidden, but it's pretty cool. It's really old, and it works really, really well. I'm very happy with the President. Thank you, Dad. Love it. Last but not least, we have a Uniden handheld walkie-talkie. The walkie-talkie is all right for, you know, communications that are close. The range on this walkie-talkie is probably half a mile with that short little antenna. So you're not going to get good range out of it, but you can also use this as a mobile unit. If you don't want to install or mount a CB in your vehicle, you can actually use an adapter for this antenna to screw in a regular coax and use it as a regular mobile CB. It works pretty good. I mean, it's got, similar to the Assault radio, it's got a channel up and down on the side. You can change your channels, and it's got push to talk, so you can transmit hello. And on the side here, you got a speaker. You can put an external speaker. You can put a 12-volt adapter. Instead of running batteries, you can plug it into your car. And you can also, there's a high and low switch on there. I just leave it on high. I don't know why anybody would want low power, because this thing is only like the legal limit of 4 watts. But it's nice to have a walkie-talkie like this, because if you're traveling somewhere in a vehicle that has a CB and somebody wants to travel with you without a CB, you can give them the handheld unit and you can communicate back and forth between the vehicles. Even if you're inside the other vehicle with the antenna, you can still communicate with somebody, no problem. But the way this thing is, don't expect to be sitting in your living room inside the house or in your car somewhere trying to shoot skip or, contact anybody, because it's not going to happen unless you upgrade your antenna. They actually make a telescoping antenna. And like I said, get the adapter. It would be BNC to SO239 or whatever it is, your standard coax. So like I said, you can put a regular antenna and screw it right into the Uniden handheld unit. Nothing wrong with having a walkie-talkie. It's always handy. Like I said, you got somebody in a vehicle that has one and somebody wants to travel, boom, you guys can communicate, no problem. This is not a CB radio. This is a ham radio. These Baofeng UV5Rs you can get on Amazon or eBay for like under 30 bucks. They're ham radios. You can program them with software and program your own channels and set it to scan and use it as a scanner. You can use it to broadcast on ham radio frequencies. If you have a license, you can legally do so. Some of these will not broadcast on GMRS or FRS frequencies. Apparently they updated the radio so you can't do it no more, but this one here happens to be able to do so.
Channel mode.
So you can turn it on, and I have like 120 channels programmed.
Scanning begin.
So now I just sit here and I can scan through all the channels that I have programmed. So I have a lot of programs. There's a family radio service, general mobile radio service. You got your business radios like MERS, like Walmart use, plus all the local fire department and ambulance.
Coast Guard Special Marine Mooring for Lake Erie, listen channel 22 Alpha out.
That's the U.S. Coast Guard. I have that program since I live near Lake Erie. I also have ship communications, the International Space Station, and a bunch of other pretty cool channels in here. And with this longer antenna, it normally comes with a short rubber duck. I put this longer antenna on and it picks up a lot. Not only that, let me show you something else. Out here on the porch, I have this steel plate. It's not really big enough, but I have this steel plate. Oh, look at that. How much for that puppy in the window? Isn't that something? Anyway, this is a mobile ham radio antenna that I have out here on the porch, and I can hook my scanner with an antenna adapter, like I talked about the walkie-talkie, and I can, inside the home, I can listen to all emergency warnings, including the warnings that guy gives me, because he's something else. So it's pretty nice to be inside your home, have your radio hooked up to an external antenna, and you can pick up lots of good stuff. If you happen to get something like that with annoying stuff going on, you can hit the channel up and skip it. You can also program it with Chirp software to skip certain channels. But what's nice is you can also program in the National Weather Service, which I have on
Frequency mode.
Front will move through the region Tuesday night into Wednesday. The forecast for Erie County Lakeshore. Beach hazard statement in effect until 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time this afternoon. Rest of today, cloudy with showers likely with a slight chance of thunderstorms late this morning. Then
Channel mode.
So anyway, there you go. This is a ham radio, 2 meters and 70 cm. Legally, you can't transmit it on it without a license. Even on the GMRS and FRS channels, apparently this radio is not legal on those, but really, I mean, in an emergency situation, you can use it. So I hope you all enjoyed today's tour of my radios. It's not a review type video or anything like that, or what's better or what you should get. But I think with the way, stuff's going with the world, stuff is questionable. And remember that CB radios are powered by your vehicle or 12-volt batteries. And that could be one of your final sources of communication if there's ever, interruptions with cell phone reception, and who knows what could happen. So not a bad idea to have a CB radio on hand. Even if you got one of those emergency ones, like in the trunk, you can find them at yard sales and flea markets if you keep your eyes open. eBay and stuff, you might be able to pick one up dirt cheap. Check your local marketplace. Wouldn't be bad just to have one laying around, just in case, because you may never know. So thank you all for watching. See you next time.